kind of thinking I'm ready to sing this song. What I'm more curious about, though, besides how much beer I can sink through this filter system, is the origins of this song. It's kind of a bit like the Rain Man, but this one's called the Sugar Man. And they kind of have similar connotations, like, you know, the Rain Man, obviously raining money, the Sugar Man, Sugar Daddy, probably, raining down sugar. And we all know sugar is sweet, something we crave. So obviously this is a song about drugs and the man who rains down the sugar, I guess. It's, you know, if you really want to look into all the Illuminati conspiracy videos you can find, I mean, all that I've ever seen is just stuff that confirms my own suspicions that I've had all my life. I was a young child when I realised we've been fed all this bullshit, you know, just watching the Flintstones and Looney Tunes and all the rest. I was already well aware that this is some form of brainwashing they're giving us. I mean, the coyote trying hard to chase his bird, going through all these crazy inventions. It's all a form of mind manipulation to convince us to conform, to don't try, to give up, to realise that you haven't got a chance. If you're thinking outside the box, then you shouldn't get back to conformity, get in the straight line. Homer Simpson, beer, donuts. Every single time it triggers a little thing inside our brain. I mean, for me, yeah. And when every time I see him go, beer, I gotta go, beer. When he goes, donuts. Fortunately, I've trained my own mind and body to not crave sugary, floury, doughy products that clog you up and make you fat and obese. And that's probably one of the best things you can do once you understand there's a polarity in the things we eat, alkaline and acidic, and you need to stick to the alkaline side of things. And when you realise sugar is acidic, now yes, it is also a fuel for our bodies, but that's only when it's combined in the natural fruit form that it comes in. Once it's been processed, it becomes a poisonous product and it feeds the cancer. And the cancer thrives in the acidic environment. Whereas once you alkalize and stop clogging up this system with doughy, dead products, what you eat today should be crapped out first thing in the morning, if not sooner. That's just a natural law. That should be how it is. So with that in mind, I'm going to sing this song about the Sugar Man, and obviously it's about drugs. And I think drugs used wisely can be beneficial. I wouldn't really know because I've never really used drugs. I steer right clear of them. I do sometimes partake in a little bit of cannabis, but that's not a drug. It's a herb. It's a natural herb. And the best way to get the best effect out of it is to use heat to bring it into your body. And this song actually does contain a bit about the sweet Mary Jane, and the Jumpers and Coke, on the other hand. I once experimented. I did, I'll admit it. I think I was still in my late teens. Yeah, it would have been. A friend of mine, when we went on a footy trip away up to the Gold Coast, said, here's a line of speed, so amphetamines. So I tried it, and then afterwards he was like going, oh shit, what have I done? Apparently he gave me like the equivalent of 3 big fat lines in just this one little snort, which was my first introduction to it. So naturally, you know, I stayed up all night, but it was great because I got to go out to the beach and look at the stars and realise what a fantastic universe we live in. So that's my experience with drugs, basically. I don't particularly think you should try them, but everybody's got to dabble. Everybody has the right to try and experiment. Just don't create a fucking, habit. The habit is what gets you. You need to use this to enhance life, to get a greater experience, a greater understanding of life, but not to escape from life. You don't want to do that. So Sugar man, won't you hurry? 'Cause I'm tired of this sin. Or a blue coin, won't you bring back all those colors to my dreams? Silver magic ships you carry, jumpers, Coke, sweet Mary Jane. Sugar man met a false friend on a lonely, dusty road. Lost my heart when I found it. It had turned to dead black coal. As you can see, met a false friend on the lonely, dusty road. Lost my heart when I'd found it. It had turned to dead black coal. What's he trying to say here is, when he needed help, like all these musicians do, he's signed on the dotted line for this contract, as they do. And then when he found himself again, he'd realised it's turned to dead black coal. If you're a pending musician, Stay independent. Do not sign on the line. Do not sign a contract. And stop giving your money to those who have, because the money doesn't really go to them. They might get a cent in the dollar if they're lucky. We know where it's all going. It's fueling the machine set out to destroy us. Set out to destroy us. I wish I could extrapolate even more, but maybe I should. Maybe I should. Every single one of these famous artists that you see, and most of these famous actors as well, they sign a contract. And we know who the contract belongs to, all the way up to the top of the pyramid, to the all-seeing eye, kept invisible. We don't even get to see this all-seeing eye, but it's there. We know it's there. And he knows we know it's there. Our existence depends upon it, so long as we are feeding it, and everything gets sucked up. All the wealth goes towards the top of the pyramid. There's no trickle down effect. I've explained that in another video somewhere too. I don't know. Most of you people are blissfully living in ignorance, and that suits your purpose fine. Just I don't think I can awaken every single human being on this planet to the reality of our existence. If you're happy being a slave, then by all means, I don't want to ruin your happiness and destroy your peace. Be a slave. Keep supporting the system that enslaves the rest of us, and know that you'll be recorded down in the records as one of those who fought to suppress the freedom of the people who deserve and have every right to be free, to have abundance, because you're paying for that system willfully, unknowingly. Okay, so you're an ignorant, you've got to wake up to the reality. Go and watch The Matrix again, and when you realise that moment when he says, "You're a slave, Neo," he's talking to us. We are the slaves. We are the ignorant ones living in our dreams, supporting the slave system and suppressing ourselves from proper human advancement, from proper development of the earth for what it should be. This earth should be a heavenly realm by now. Heavenly, divine, where we could just talk into our phone, "Hello Google, I would like a milkshake," whatever you want, and it should be able to pop down your chimney within minutes if you truly wanted something. I would actually go for a beetroot, carrot, apple, fresh juice, and so it would be picked up, and these helium blimps wafting around could easily, okay, here's somebody wants something, bing bing bing, and it's all paid for by our collective wealth, because we're all contributing one way or another to society without having to work menial tasks. And all we have to do in return is work some menial fucking tasks for about 5 hours a week each. Maybe just one day. Do an 8-hour shift a week. So you're the one up there in the blimp. Right, somebody wants this. Let's just chop up these vegetables, put it in the juicer, pop it into the cup, and bang, we've just dropped it down that chimney. And every day would be Christmas for everybody. If we got organised, we can do this. This is how it should be. We shouldn't have to rely on a monetary system, paying interest to banks and people that have billions and billions of dollars and don't even need this interest, that enslave us into debt. It can be done. It can be done. I've got plenty of grand schemes in my head. Please don't let them just die with me. You know, I don't even know where to begin when I start telling you about my grand schemes. Simple ones from the ground up to massive ones which can involve thousands and thousands of people and house all the people in the world. Give them shelter from storms and harsh weather and flooding and all the rest. Earthquake proof. I've got it all up in here and I can do it. I seriously can. Now, if you want to debate me with something, fine, go ahead, but you'll have to chuck in $10 into my PayPal account to start with, simply so I can get some Skype credits, because I haven't got no Skype credits. And I just spent the last $45 I had in my PayPal account. I just sent it to my beautiful Filipino lovely lady because her dog just got run over and needs medical treatment, and her brother got bitten by it and needs medical treatment. I got nothing, but I've got nothing to lose, but I've got everything to give. All you need to do is just ignore me. Just treat me like a drunken fool. Just because I have all the answers and can fix all the world's problems. Doesn't mean you should give me your money. No. Just give it to some fucking multi-millionaire charity that's going to go waste 80 to 90% of it on administrative costs. Breaks my heart to think that I have so many answers and so many solutions to so many problems, and nobody gives a fuck. You know, you give me $100 one week, that is beautiful. Strongly appreciate it. Strongly appreciate it to those who have been so generous. But it's $400 just to live in the fucking house. Anyway, I shouldn't be asking you for money. I can know because everybody I see is doing it the same toughness as I am. So and I'm not okay. Only reason I'm asking is because I have serious solutions and I need serious funding to get them up off the ground. And again, you can look back through some of my videos, especially when I talk about the dome that anybody can build on their property for aquaponics to get everything started. Our basics are growing food, shelter. That's the basics. If we can grow enough of that, then we can all stop paying rent. So there's a massive saving to all of us straight away. Like I say, $400 a week my rent's going up to in the next couple of weeks. $380 at the moment. It's a huge saving. If I could put $380 a week just into my business ideas alone, I'd be right. But I don't have it because I have to put it in the fucking rent to exist. So somehow we need to get above this. Now I can find a decent property for us, for a really decent property. I'm talking a serious one. It sold last year for about $580,000, and it's the most magnificent property, worth well over $1 million in real estate. Now I reckon I could go and approach those owners with a serious offer if I could, make it worth their while. 500, 600,000 maybe, because they don't know what to do with it. I know what to do with it. Look at my page, Olimaroa, spelt with a U at the moment. I'm going to change it so it's AU, Olimaroa, the traditional Maori name for Australia. I'm sorry that I always say Maori, that's our Aussie way of saying it, but they're actually Maori. Olimaroa. They probably even pronounce that different too, Olimaroa. But they explained it to me when I was over there too. This nation has so much potential. We could house the entire world's population on Australia alone and still have plenty of room left. Especially if you use the ideas that I have, that I want to realistically inject into this world. Now, you can watch this and ignore it. You can watch this and chuck in $10. Or you can watch this and spread the word and find some serious investors so we can get some serious dollars together. It's not from me. I've got my food and beer needs met. This is something I want to do for all of us, for all of humanity, for the planet, for our beautiful earthly realm, to make it into a heavenly paradise. That's all I want. I'd be happy sitting in my 10-year-old singlet and drinking my own stale homebrew for the rest of my days. I don't care. I don't need fine silks and fancy clothes and fancy abodes. I could live inside a teepee. I'd be perfectly happy. Just so long as I knew there were people that weren't going without. And while there are people going without, we're doing something wrong. And I can fix it. I can fix it. I've explained in several of the videos some of my methods, most of the methods, but simple aquaponics, which is a type of hydroponics using fish as the fertilizer for your food instead of chemicals. I know and understand these basic concepts. I understand about natural air conditioning with plants and trees, and the way we can save this world. So yes, your $5 and $10 donations do really seriously help. But if you can get in touch with me, through my email or through just contacting me any way you can. Ancients at Hotmail, I don't actually monitor that website, that email account that much, but my general day-to-day email account, which you can contact me immediately with, is rossthatcher22@gmail.com. That's my everyday one I use and get notifications from, and I would be happy to listen to your suggestions for how we can go about raising some funds to get a serious property and get some serious food growth and shelter happening, which can spread all around the world. I know that it can be done. And it can be done without bank funding. Because there are good people out there, I know, have some amount of financial benefit behind them, who also don't like the banks and don't want to go into debts. Obviously you're not on my list because I've never seen you, but you might see this because somebody's going to share this with you and spread it, because I've put it out into the world, into the universe, to say this needs to happen, because what other choice have we got? Where else are you going to put your faith? Back into the banks who are enslaving us more and more and more, day after day, year after year. Looking at people falling into poverty. Please get in touch with me, and we've got some serious, proper solutions that need to be done. This is the way to save the world. You can't save it waiting for a saviour. This is how it's done. From the ground up, ground roots, and you can make the difference. So that I can. Cheers and Happy New Year's. I'm a true man with a true purpose. And I need you. I need you, your support, your assistance, so that together we can save the world. Thank you.